Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing on the October 25th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a Little Time for Myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. We'll begin with a little time for myself. October 25th. I'll just take a moment to look it over. The question of the day is, how does my connection to a higher power help me let go of my imagined control? Starts off with the person recalling that when they were young, they felt a connection with God, and that changed as this person was growing up with an alcoholic father who died very young. All those negative experiences made it feel like that connection to God was growing, further distanced apart. However, applying the 12 steps in Al-Anon strengthened the connection with God, that spiritual awakening. The only thing that got in the way was trying to figure out how everything worked. And then this person determined that letting go and letting God was okay, that they didn't have to understand everything because they weren't in control of everything. And then today's reminder talks about turning results over to our higher power. The quote, "In all our affairs," talks about not having to solve all the problems. We just need to let go and let God and be present in the moment. So again, back to the question of the day, how does my connection to a higher power help me let go of my imagined control? For me, it's a very natural consequence of my connection to my higher power to one of the big gifts of that understanding is that I can let things go to my higher power. Years ago, when I first started exploring this, I was shocked when I realized how much I really don't have control over. And then I realized that it's not just me, nobody has control over it. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Some things I feel like, how can I describe this? I feel like the universe has an order, and my higher power is part of that order, and I can do what I feel is right and then let it be. And that's what brings me the most serenity, to realize that there's a wisdom much greater than me on my own. So how about you? How does your connection to a higher power help you let go of your imagined control? It's funny, the readings are so concise, but the subject matter is so kind of profound, truly. Moving on to Courage to Change, October 25th. I'm just going to look it over. This reading is about making amends when we owe amends. The reading is 2 paragraphs. The first paragraph describes what this person did that deeply and negatively affected their children in an alcoholic household growing up. But this person also realizes that they were doing the best they could. However, they still need to make amends. So in the second paragraph, it's talking about how one way that we can make amends is to change our behavior. We can take responsibility for our choices, make positive contributions, and making choices that we can feel good about. Today's reminder talks about how Al-Anon doesn't tell us what to do, but it does support us in figuring out what is important to us. And making amends when necessary. And it talks about having choices, which is always options, choices, synonyms in this situation. The quote is from As We Understood, and it's telling the difference between saying I'm sorry and an actual amends. And amends, part of it can be I'm sorry, but of course the other, probably more important part is changing our behavior moving forward so that we don't feel like we have to make amends for the same reason again. But of course, every situation where we're making amends is special and specific. So that's important to keep in mind. And this reminds me of step 10 because I love step 10. Step 10 is doing that frequent, I have the wording right here. Please hold. Continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So taking my own inventory on a regular basis, like a constant, like a wheel, like it just keeps rolling. I'm always checking in. It frees me up to be in the moment, to think creatively, to live without shame, because if I think I've behaved in a way that I don't feel good about, or where I've caused someone else hurt, I can deal with it right away and then move on. That's a good page. Yes, step 10 absolutely such a a I can't think of the words, but a great addition to my practice is the ideas within step 10. So that is courage to change. We will close out with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.